Hello and welcome to our daily show. I am Ahmed Sharif and you are watching AUC TV. A bomb explosion in Boston has led to the death of 3 people and injury of more than 170 people who were participating in one of the city's most civic holidays, Patriots' Day. 2 explosions left Boston streets splattered with blood and glass Monday, 2 hours after winners had crossed the finish line. However, there were still thousands of runners on the course. Investigations continue as police officers deal with what was labeled as the most complex crime scene in the history of Boston. Police Department President Barack Obama addressed the nation Tuesday, saying that the deadly marathon bombings were an act of terrorism.
This was a heinous and cowardly act, and given what we now know about what took place, the FBI is investigating it as an act of terrorism. Anytime bombs are used to target innocent civilians, it is an act of terror. What we don't yet know, however, is who carried out this attack or why, whether it was planned and executed by a terrorist organization, foreign or domestic, or was the act of a malevolent individual.
On the regional level, a bomb targeting members of anti-Taliban political party has killed 4 people and wounded 20 in northwest Pakistan. Police officer Zahir Shah said the bomb exploded as key members of the Awami National Party were arriving for a meeting in the city of Peshawar. The party members included Ghulam Ahmed Bilor and his nephew Haroon Bilor, whose father was one of the most senior AMP leaders and was killed in a suicide attack in December. Ghulam Ahmed Bilor was wounded in Tuesday's attack, but was in stable condition. Local residents described how they had tried to help victims of the blast.
हम ब्लास्ट हो गया तो हम यहाँ नज़दीक थे, हम दौड़ते दौड़ते आए हैं तो यहाँ पे इस गाड़ी के ऊपर बहुत तेज़ी से आग लगा हुआ था। यहाँ बच्चों की टांगे पड़ी हुई थी, बहुत लोग जले हुए थे, इसका ड्राइवर भी गाड़ी के अंदर पड़ा हुआ था, मगर ड्राइवर बहुत जला हुआ था, ख़त्म हुआ था। अभी हमने उसके इंतज़ामिया के ज़रिए हमने टांगे उठाए, लोगों के लाशें उठाए, हमने बहुत काम किया, फिर बाद में सिक्योरिटी भी आ गया, सब काम हो गया।
तादाद उनकी कुछ नहीं बता सकते हैं, एक थानेदार और 4 पुलिस वाले तो लेके गए हम, और बाकी आदमियों को हमने उठाया यहाँ से। बच्चे भी हैं, बूढ़े भी हैं, जवान भी हैं, इसमें कोई पता ही नहीं चलता था कि कितने आदमी हैं।
The Pakistani Taliban have specifically threatened to target members of the AMP and 2 other secular parties in the run-up to parliamentary elections on May 11th. Insurgents in Iraq have developed a series of car bombs as part of highly coordinated attacks. The attacks on Tuesday killed at least 55, the deadliest day in nearly a month. One parked car bomb exploded near car dealerships in Baghdad's eastern Habibia neighborhood, killing 10. The attacks, most of them car bombings, were unusually broad in scope. The car bombs have cut across a wide swath of country ahead of provincial elections, scheduled for Saturday. People were not sure which in specific the blast targeted. Eyewitness Abu Muhammad explains the situation.
البارحة والله بالمعارض واقفين احنا وصار انفجار كلش قوي. الظاهر السيارة أما على المواطنين أما على الجيش اللي كان جايين.
Although violence in Iraq has fallen from its peak in 2006 and 2007, bombings and other attacks remain common. Still in Egypt, Months of Achievements, President Morsi Builds Egypt Anew is the title of a book published by the Muslim Brotherhood intended at enlisting the achievements of President Mohamed Morsi. The book is authored by Rida Al-Masri, an educational expert and the writer of several educational articles on the Brotherhood and other Islamic websites. In AUC, students expressed their opinion on the Morsi's book of achievements.
Yes, I know that they are publishing a book about his achievements. I guess it would be blank.
Yeah, I do know that there's a book being issued about President Morsi's achievements. I'm indifferent about it, but I know that there's going to be a group of people that appreciate it, and then there's going to be a group of people that aren't going to even give it the time of day, but it's going to be two-sided. There's going to be 2 opinions to it.
No, I know nothing about the Muslim Brotherhood publishing a book about the President's achievements, and I think they shouldn't be doing that because the public did not yet experience some of his achievements or changes in the country.
No, I didn't know the Muslim Brotherhood were publishing a book about Morsi's achievements, and honestly, I don't think he did any achievements worth mentioning in a book. Like, he didn't even do most of the achievements he said he would do.
Protests have erupted in parts of Caracas and other Venezuelan cities after acting President Nicolas Maduro was declared winner of Sunday's presidential election. So far, authorities announced the death of 7 and injury of 61 in the violent confrontations. With Maduro only holding a narrow lead, the opposition is rejecting the results and demanding a vote recount. According to the Electoral Council, Maduro won by 262,000 votes out of 14.9 million ballots cast. On Tuesday, Venezuela's president-elect announced that he was banning any opposition march scheduled for the following day. He said its goal was to create disorder in the capital. In response to the ban, opposition candidate Henrik Capriles urged his followers not to march, but to instead stage pot-banging protests Tuesday night and for the rest of the week. Replying to Capriles' urges, Maduro called on his supporters to counter Capriles' pot-banging protests with firecrackers scheduled to be set off at the same time as the opposition protests. Maduro and Capriles traded accusations throughout the day over blame for post-election violence. Maduro blames Capriles for the violence and urges him to step down from his position for the sake of the country.
Empezaron a recular hoy, a retroceder, pero por mucho que retroceda, tienes que verle la cara a la justicia más temprano que tarde, porque tú eres responsable de esto.
In reply to Maduro's message to Capriles, Rita Galejos, who is considered to be Capriles' strong supporter, demanded respect to her vote and the democratic process of the country.
Porque mi voto es sagrado, mi voto se respeta. Yo soy venezolana, tengo unos hijos que continúan mi apuesta en este país.
The Associated Press said serious questions have been raised about Maduro's ability to lead after he squandered a double-digit lead in the race despite an outpouring of sympathy for his party following Chavez's death. In Port Said, protests against President Mohamed Morsi and the Muslim Brotherhood have accused them of planting hatred between their city and the rest of the country and the decline of the city's economy. The Monday protests in Port Said voiced many demands to the Egyptian government that included the employment of the jobless people in Port Said and the focus on their city investment and merchandise. The protests also included accusations to President Morsi's supporters. Ahmed Gouda, a shop seller in Port Said, accused the current president for his wrong decisions, which had serious repercussions in Port Said.
الوضع اصلا من ساعه الغاء المنطقه الحره من بعد الحادثه اللي كان حصلت في بورسعيد بتاعه العربي اللي تعدى فيها على موكب الرئيس، من ساعتها والبلد يعني الرئيس يعني قرارات طلعت على البلد مش حلوه، قرارات خلت بورسعيد في دمار لغايه وقتنا هذا. بقى لنا 12 سنه بنعاني من النظام اللي فات والنظام ده. نسبه عطله بقى ظهرت كتير، مفيش ابناء بورسعيد بيتعينوا في الشركات اللي هي الغاز اللي بره، كان في مثلا بورسعيد كتير اصلا بيتعينوا في الغاز وتعينوا في البترول، كل ده اقتصرت على ابناء خارج بورسعيد.
Both Yusuf Azzam, member of the Port Said Chamber of Commerce, and Mahmoud Fouad, the Secretary General of Port Said Merchants Union, blamed the past regime for abolishing Port Said status as a free zone city for commerce.
بدأت الأزمة الحقيقية لبورسعيد تظهر سنة 2002 بسبب إصدار القانون رقم 5 لسنة 2002 اللي أصدره الرئيس المخلوع. تمام؟ هنا حسني مبارك أصدر قرار بفتح باب الوارد لمصر كلها وغلق المنطقة الحرة. يعني هو أصدر قرار 5/2 تصبح بورسعيد محافظة زي أي محافظة في الجمهورية.
كان قرار الرئيس المخلوع بانتهاء بورسعيد كمنطقة حرة ومدها لفترة 5 سنين مع تنميتها بحوالي بتاع 3 مليار جنيه. يعني لما جالنا القرار كان مضمونه كده. طبعا ولا شفنا تنمية ولا شفنا تطوير، وبورسعيد لحد دلوقتي محلك سر.
The AUC Sports Department hosted the Universities Tournament for girls. Different public and private universities participated on Monday and Tuesday in the sports day that included various games, such as football and handball. The university organized this sports event as a part of an ongoing tournament called the Martyr al-Rifai, dedicated to Ibrahim al-Rifai, a commander in the Egyptian army, who was killed in the 1973 October War. The event took place on the 15th and 16th of April in the Sports Center. The girls' teams competed against teams from 43 other universities from all over the country in 36 different sports. Final results and winning teams of the tournament await its continuation in upcoming sports days in other universities. Amira Farag, athletic specialist in AUC Sports Department, expanded more on the tournament and AUC's role in it.
طبعا دي بطولة الجامعات. الشهيد الرفاعي هي اسمها الشهيد الرفاعي لأنها حاجة لحد منسوبة يعني للشهيد رقم 40. فدي جامعة بتشترك فيها بقالها 40 سنة. كل سنة بنفضل نعد ال 40 41 42 واحنا دايما مشتركين فيها على طول. بنبقى منظمين جزء كبير منها لأن احنا بما اننا من ساعة ما جينا هنا الكامبس فبيبقى في فاسيلتيز عندنا كتير فمنظمين. احنا واخدين ألعاب معينة على قد الملاعب بتاعتنا واحنا اللي بنبقى مسؤولين عنها ومنظمينها ويعتبر بنبقى عضو من الاتحاد الرياضي للجامعات بما اننا احنا لجنة منظمة وبنبقى مع الفرق كلها.
Female student athletes participating in the tournament talked about their involvement in the tournament and how the inequalities between boys and girls teams are non-existent on campus.
كابتن طارق بيخلينا نعمل كل حاجة، يعني مفيش obstacles في أي حاجة، تمرين في أي يعني بنتمرن بيوفروا لنا كل حاجة. وصفرنا كابتن طارق قال لنا لو كسبتوا هصفركم وزيكم زي الولاد في كل حاجة، وهو يعني صفرنا وهيصفرنا تاني.
That's all for today. Thank you for watching and see you next time.